Welcome back to the rundown. And Narit, we just talked about the divisions in the Democratic Party in the U.S. now about the anti-Semitism issue, and across the Atlantic.
So we're comparing it to this next story.
Indeed not. But across the Atlantic in the UK, there is an escalation in the ongoing controversy there over allegations of anti-Semitism in Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party. Now the country's official equality watchdog says the party must respond to those concerns as a possible prelude to an official investigation into the matter.
So what are they saying exactly? The UK's Equality and Human Rights Commission releasing this statement. Having received a number of complaints regarding anti-Semitism in the Labour Party, we believe the party may have unlawfully discriminated against people because of their ethnicity and religious beliefs. Our concerns are sufficient for us to consider using our statutory enforcement powers. Joining us on this, Jeremy Newmark, former chairman of the Jewish Labour Movement from Hertsmere in the UK. Jeremy, thanks very much for being with us. So hearing this from this agency, where do you think this is going? Do you think this might be the beginning of a change in the Labour Party?
Well, it's certainly an interesting and absolutely unprecedented development for the EHRC to actually launch a predetermination action against a UK political party. It's certainly not something that I ever recall having happened before. The EHRC, of course, was established by a Labour government under the leadership of former Prime Minister Tony Blair in order to bring Britain very much into the 21st century in terms of compliance with equality and human rights norms. It could go a number of ways, but one thing is certain, that it could well be the beginning of the end of this issue being a political football, because the EHRC is a respected, statutory, independent body. So rather than have people from different political groupings trade insults and political polemic over anti-Semitism, if the EHRC do act and do intervene, we will for the first time have a determination by a genuinely independent and unimpeachable body, and the Labour Party will be unable to ignore its findings.
Jeremy, we have seen some bleeding from the Labour Party, some Labour MPs breaking off over the issue of anti-Semitism. Is it possible that if this inquiry gets underway and depending on how the leadership reacts, we could see more people bolting over this?
Look, I think it's a tumultuous time in British politics for a whole host of reasons. Obviously, there is the issue of anti-Semitism, which continues to dominate the headlines. But at the same time, our political leadership are contending with the thorny question of Brexit. And I think it's just as likely that we will see that of people defecting from all of the main political parties for a whole host of reasons. We really are in the middle of a perfect storm with unprecedented things happening. You know, British politics has traditionally been dominated by a very strong 2 or 3 party system, and it appears that for the first time in recent memory, that may be challenged. And yes, anti-Semitism in the Labour Party is a factor in what's happening right now, but it's far from the only factor.
Jeremy, as a prominent member of the Labour Party, currently a city council member, have these scandals over anti-Semitism in Labour ever pushed you to consider also jumping ship?
Look, it's clearly something that I have to consider on a regular, if not a daily basis. I represent an area in Hertsmere that has one of the most densely Jewishly populated constituencies in the UK. It's an issue that my residents and my constituents are raising with me on a daily basis, and I have to make an assessment. And at the moment, my assessment remains the case that it is still worth fighting for the heart and soul of the Labour Party, a party that was founded on core values of opposing racism and opposing anti-Semitism. This is the party that played a seminal role in the Battle of Cable Street that drove the fascists off the streets of London. And yes, we have had problems in recent years with the growth of anti-Semitism since the membership of our party expanded massively under the leadership of Jeremy Corbyn. But I believe there is still hope. I think we're getting closer every day to a position in which it may well become untenable for people like myself, committed Jews, Zionists and anti-racists, to remain in the party. But right now, I think there's everything left to fight for, and that's certainly what myself and colleagues will continue to do.
Keeping the faith and hoping to change from within. Jeremy Newmark, thanks very much for that.
Well, let's move now to Algeria.